my gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
UFO enthusiasts are anticipating the release of a landmark Pentagon report on sightings and encounters with mysterious flying objects by U.S. military members. The document, documenting the investigation into unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, is expected to be issued any day now, according to U.S. government authorities. It follows the establishment of a task force by the U.S. Department of Defense last year to help the military better its understanding of and gain insight into the nature and origins of UFOs. In today's video, we're going to discuss everything you need to know about the alien information being released in 2021. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. What will be in this report? The purpose of the study is to detail what intelligence services know about incidents involving unidentified craft. Objects seen in numerous disturbing videos shot by cameras placed aboard Navy fighter airplanes are among them. Is it possible that these are hostile drones? Artifacts from the camera? Are there extraterrestrial spaceships? The sources referenced by the New York Times got right to the point, stating unequivocally that no evidence of alien spacecraft had been discovered. That's not the same as stating they can't rule out the possibility. The report appears to be ambiguous, and the only thing it confirms is that the items were not created in the United States, either military or civilian. The alien aspect, on the other hand, is absolutely electrifying for the rest of us. The public has enthusiastically digested reports of unexplained objects ripping across the sky for more than 70 years. It's an old theory that some of these UFOs, or UAPs depending on your terminology, are alien craft. It's also a fairly sensitive subject, with most people falling into one of two camps: those who believe aliens exist and have discovered Earth, and those who don't. The former may like the thought that they know something that the experts don't acknowledge regarding the presence of aliens. Critics believe the proponents are naive, and the proof they present is insufficient. Ex-military pilots recount alien or UFO sightings. Fresh discoveries of UFO sightings from retired military personnel and the release of unclassified video depicting mysterious objects observed by U.S. fighter aircraft have fueled public interest in the report's findings for months. The Pentagon's watchdog is also expected to look into how the Pentagon handled UFO allegations. Former U.S. Navy pilot Ryan Graves told CBS's 60 Minutes last month that he was one of the military aviators who saw unidentified craft flying off the coast of Virginia every day for 2 years, beginning in 2019. The incidents, as well as the Pentagon's response, concerned the former Navy lieutenant. David Fravor, a retired U.S. Navy pilot, also told the BBC about his experience with strange aerial objects off the coast of California in 2004. Their speed and maneuverability, he claimed, were better than his advanced FA-18 warplane. "I don't know who's building it, who's got the technology, who's got the brains, but there's something out there that was better than our airplane." The Pentagon confirmed the veracity of photographs and video taken in 2019 by U.S. Navy troops that appeared to depict triangle-shaped objects blinking and moving through the clouds in April. Former President Barack Obama has also admitted that the government is unable to explain UFO sightings. Last month, Mr. Obama told the Late Late Show that there were unidentified objects. What is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of the objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are, Mr. Obama said. Will the report reveal that there are in fact aliens? This is when things become a little complicated. Although the study has yet to be released, internet alien enthusiasts are already excited that this will be the big one, in which proof of extraterrestrial life will be made public. Even if film of unexplained flying objects is presented to the public, it may be difficult to prove. Former officials' wording in recent interviews, such as Ratcliffe, suggests a non-US and non-foreign origin for what they're seeing, and what you're left with is not us or them. It's something outside of Earth, according to Scholes. When will the UFC report be released? The government is compelled by the newly passed statute to release the report within 180 days, giving it a June 1st deadline. There's a chance it'll happen sooner rather than later. According to the Washington Post, it could possibly be postponed. When Trump signed the budget bill on December 27, a 180-day clock started ticking, giving intelligence personnel until June to present the report to legislators. However, two things may cause the report's release to be delayed. Agencies have previously missed comparable congressional reporting deadlines, and the clause is technically unenforceable because it was included in the Senate Intelligence Committee's report on the bill, not not the bill itself. In other words, it isn't a statute, but the agency's departments normally treat report language as bill language, a senior Senate staffer familiar with the legislation explained. Why is the report so difficult to explain and understand? The SETI Institute's principal astronomer, Seth Shostak, is doubtful of the report's content. It'll be ambiguous, Shostak said. The Navy, I'm sure, is not going to come out and say, these are alien craft, and if they do, I'll eat my hat. Shostak, on the other hand, feels the government's primary concern with the footage is whether it constitutes a security threat. They just want to know whether these are Chinese aircraft or Russian aircraft or drones. Something in aerospace that they don't know about, Shostak says. I think that's what motivates them. Most credible UFO sightings in history. The lights above the New Jersey Turnpike in 2001. It takes a lot for drivers to pull over alongside a highway and look up at the sky, but that's exactly what happened on the New Jersey Turnpike on July 14, 2001. They marveled at the sight of odd orange and yellow lights in a V-shape over the Arthur Kill waterway between Staten Island, New York and Carteret, New Jersey for around 15 minutes soon after midnight. Witnesses included Lieutenant Daniel Tarrant of the Carteret Police Department, as well as individuals from the Throgs Neck Bridge on Long Island and Fort Lee, New Jersey near the George Washington Bridge. At first, air traffic authorities denied that any planes, military jets, or spacecraft could have created the strange lights, but the New York Strange Phenomena investigators, NYSPI, claimed to have received FAA radar data that verified the UFO sightings from that night. O'Hare International Airport saucer, 2006. A United Airlines employee on the tarmac observed a dark gray metallic plane hovering over gate C-17 as Flight 446 was getting ready to go to North Carolina from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. Around 4:15 p.m. on November 7, 2006, a total of 12 United employees, along with a few witnesses outside the airport, saw the saucer-shaped UFO. According to witnesses, it hovered for approximately 5 minutes before soaring upward, breaking a breach in the clouds large enough for pilots and mechanics to see the blue sky. The news item went on to become the most read story on the Chicago Tribune's website to that point, as well as making international headlines. The FAA, however, dismissed the UFO as a weather phenomenon and failed to investigate because it was not visible on radar. Lubbock Lights, 1951. 3 Texas Tech science professors were enjoying an evening outdoors in Lubbock on August 25, 1951, when they noticed a semicircle of lights flying above them at a fast speed. Hundreds of reports poured in over the next few days from all across town. Texas Tech freshman Carl Hart Jr. even took photos of the so-called Lubbock Lights phenomena, which were published in newspapers around the country and in Life magazine. The occurrences were investigated by Project Blue Book, which spearheaded the Air Force's UFO investigations. The official conclusion was that the lights were birds reflecting the luminescence from Lubbock's new street lamps. Many witnesses, on the other hand, refused to accept this interpretation, claiming that the lights were moving too quickly. Tehran, 1976. The event in Tehran, Iran, on September 19, 1976, began like so many others, with phone calls from anxious individuals reporting a bright light in the sky. An F-4 fighter jet was dispatched to investigate, but its instruments went out as it approached the object, forcing the pilot to return to base. A second F-4 took its place and obtained radar lock as it approached the peculiar light. However, the pilot claims that the UFO launched a luminous object, which he mistook for a missile heading right for him. The pilot's instruments malfunctioned as he prepared to fire back, and he saw another brilliant object launched from the UFO that headed straight for him. Iran approached the U.S. after the incidents to offer assistance in the inquiry. Lieutenant Colonel Olin Mouay of the United States Air Force Section Chief summarized the events of the night in an unclassified memo. Nearly all of them have answers. The Belgium Wave, 1989-1990. Belgian individuals reported sighting a huge triangular UFO hanging in the sky around the end of November of 1989. Aside from visual observations, no evidence of a UFO's existence was discovered. New sightings of numerous objects were reported a few months later in March of 1990 and were confirmed by 2 military ground radar stations. 2 F-16 fighter airplanes were dispatched to investigate the anomalies, and despite the fact that the pilots were unable to see anything, they were able to lock onto their targets using radar. The UFOs, however, sped so quickly that the pilots lost sight of them. And there you have it, everything we currently know about the UFC report that is set to be released any day now, along with other information we have currently been given about UFC sightings and aliens. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.